Storm is at 10-point details on severe and impactful weather in Rutherford County with Rutherford Weather.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
Listen to Rutherford weather updates on WGNS and watch on YouTube and Facebook by following at RUCO Weather. That's RUCO Weather. We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable, a look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into WGNS and the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzier, founder and executive director of First Shot Foundation. I welcome in our guest today, a former First Shot family, Craig Harris, who represents District 15, County Commissioner. Welcome in, Craig.
Thanks for being. I'm really happy to be here, Andy. It's so good to see you again. It's been a while, and you know, it's like I was telling you earlier. It's just our Friday nights and going to your camps, and Saturdays. Just, I mean, it was just one of the best times for our little men to do.
Well, again, I thank you for that support, and let's talk about your family now. Where are they all at? Because I've been doing this basketball Winter League for now 20 years coming up. So let's talk about where your family is. Your daughter is 30.
Yep. Trey's 22 and Seth's 19.
Wow.
Yeah, they're growing up. Reagan is my 30-year-old daughter. She works at Vanderbilt, and she's a nurse. And Trey, who's 22, he went to UTC, and then he wanted to come and work at the business, so I'm grooming him to take it over. And Seth's at Swanee.
Playing football.
Yeah, he's up in the air right now, Andy. I'm not feeling positive about it right now. You know, because we both played athletics, and it's more about playing games. It's what you do in preparation. You know, you got to lift. You have to get yourself in shape. You have to work on it, and it's if you don't love it, you ain't going to succeed in it.
You know, we talked about it a little bit. You know, he's down at Swanee University of the South, and you know, when you play on Friday nights in Rutherford County, you always are drawing a large crowd, and both. What he and I had, I grew up in Indiana, we'd have 5,000 people at a basketball game, and went to college, UNC Asheville, and we barely scratch 1,000, right? And it's just very different when you're used to playing in front of people, and you got to love it.
Well, I mean, you know, take Oakland. I mean, you talked about it, Oakland Riverdale, Oakland Blackman. I mean, you go to some of these smaller colleges, these D3s and NAIA, and you know, it's almost like, where am I at? You know, it's almost like when you was in little football. But Swanee, you know Andy McCollum. I mean, Andy's just an incredible. I love Andy, and he's just a great coach, and he's trying, man. He's really trying hard. But there's a different type of kid in D3 than there is in D1, you know, and he has to deal with. Swanee's not about, you know, just athletes. It's an academic, you know, and highly academic, and you got to have certain kids can come in there, and you know, and that's one of the things I think Andy struggles with is getting that top tier athlete.
Well, again, it's one of those that, man, if you can ever get through it, you know, it's that battle. You get through it, and at the end, you know, the lifelong connections. I mean, you know, through coaching, you know, you've coached a lot of different places. Talk about that. I mean, you did it on a volunteer basis.
Yeah, I went to coached at Blackman in 2011 to 2014, I believe, and you remember Shad Owens?
Oh,
he used to be coach at Smyrna. I came as his volunteer, and you know, I think Philip is probably one of the best coaches I've ever been around. He taught me so much. And then I coached with David Watson, who's the defense coordinator at Oakland, and he taught me a lot. And I went to Riverdale for 1 year under A-Lot. You know, you remember Ron?
I do. Everybody remembers him. Now he's still a legend.
He's the one that created the hybrid wing tee, you know. And I mean, I always thought he was just a genius. And then I went to MTCS. and I was there for a long time, and on and off. And that's my kids went to MTCS since they were in 5th grade, and I loved it there. And my son Trey went to Blackman Middle. He played for Blackman Middle, and some of you see those players, when they're 14 years old, and all of a sudden you read about them in the newspaper and you read about them on Saturday. But I loved Blackman, and I loved MTCS.
You know what I like about coaches that do it with no money paid. Because those are the ones that really have a love first of the game, and then second for the kids. It's not about them, and so thank you for all that. That's a lot of time away from family and your business. A lot of commitment.
Well, I was defensive coordinator at MTCS. I think they paid me $3,000 a year, and I was working, no kidding, watching film, game plan. I mean, at least 35, 40 hours a week, making nothing. I mean, my whole plan was I would play Friday night. Saturday morning, I'm watching film all day. Sunday, I'm making the game plan. Monday practice, Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, Thursday walkthrough, Friday game, start all over again. And we made the playoffs, and so that prolonged the seasons up to 14 weeks, So, but you're absolutely right. I loved it. I mean, I think some of my happiest moments are just, coaching and just that. Playing against somebody who's better than you and trying to figure out how to do it, and then halftime coming in there, I'm either whipping you or you're whipping me, and then my adjustments and sitting down with coaches, and all the kids are getting water, and I'm sitting there going, okay, we got to stop this. What do I do here? And I loved it. I mean, absolutely loved it. And my son, the greatest moment, besides marrying Suzanne and having my kids, one of the greatest moments is Seth winning the state championship and him running over there hugging me. I get emotional talking about it right now. That was probably the best day of my life.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I tell people this a lot. To win a state championship is daunting. And not very many people get to experience it. They get to experience winning and losing and being a part of a team. But to win a state championship is pretty special, and especially at a small Christian school. Talk what that was like for that school, your son and you.
Well, the thing about when I was at Blackman, I was defensive line coach. And Andy, I had 35 guys just in defensive lines, just 35. I had up to 6 string. And I go to MTCS, and there's 35 on the whole team. I mean, I literally would be coaching 4 guys, and it's just, huge adjustment. The thing about private schools is it's on classes. So you get a good middle school, and they can ride you all the way for a long way. And then if you have a bad one, you're going to stink for 4 years, So we had Seth, my youngest, his 5th grade team, they won 5th grade all the way up. They either won the championship or were runner-up. So we knew what was coming. And Trey, my 22-year-old, he was all-state, and they had a good team. But we just didn't have those pieces, the speed and so we got these kids. Seth's class come all the way up. Freshman year, solid. Sophomore year, solid. Sophomore year, we went to the semifinals, and then their junior year, we got beat in the second round, and then won it their senior year. So it was just just an unbelievable moment. I just told you about my son winning the state championship. My 2 biggest defeats, where I cried like a baby, Andy, was Blackman against Maryville in I think it's either 13 or 14 in the semifinals. And then I was defense coordinator for MTCS against Nashville. Christian, I think?
Nashville Christian.
Yeah, and lost to them in the semifinals. And then just, you got that grade up and that grade down, So I'm honored, I'm blessed, You know, I got to do something that I love, and sports is a big part of our family, big part of my life, you know.
Yep. Well, you know what I say all the time is we can talk about all the negatives, but the actual thing of what I miss, people ask me all the time when I go back to college coaching, and I say no. And it was for that same reason that you just talked about, the grind. That you know, you're not just recruiting kids. That's just one small facet. You're game planning, you're at practice, and you're doing all the other things that you got to do to be successful. And it's a 90 to 100-hour week, and I don't know how people do it for a long time like Coach Insel has done it.
You got to love it.
Yep.
You got to love it. I mean, if you don't love it, if you love it, then it's not work. But if you're just doing it, you know, it's brutal. You know, we sit here and say, how are we going to stop a guy who runs a 4.4, Andy? How am I going to stop it? And then, what color jerseys you going to wear? You know, do you have colored tape? You know, you got to deal with stuff like that, and you're going, what in the world? You know, but I know you, and you have been such an impact on youth. I mean, and I thank you for that. I really admire you for that, and the lives you touched, and one of the best feelings in the world, Andy, and I know you go through this, is being in a restaurant and a former player comes up and talks to you and says, hey, Coach, how are you doing, you know, and tells you how they're doing. That means you were a positive impact on their life, and that's something I'm proud of. I have players now that call me and see me, and it's just a great, you know, it's a great thing. They have kids, and, you know, you just get up there, and it's just like, man, I made a positive impact. So that's the reward, too.
Yeah, you know, I can tell where I've coached them at. Those that call me Coach Herzer, I coached them collegiately. Those that call me Coach Andy, they've been in first shot. and the unfair part is, like, if your son wasn't with you that one day that we met out and you were eating and I was eating, if you weren't with him, I wouldn't have recognized him, because he was a little boy when he was with me. Now he's a young man. And, and the change that these kids go through, and they all the time ask me, Coach Andy, do you remember me? Well, it's, you know, they've changed so much. I've said, sorry, man. I know I've had you because you called me Coach Andy, but I really don't remember you. But
you're talking over 1,000 kids. So I don't know how you would do it anyway. But you've been a big impact, and I just remember the Friday nights, man. I loved those things, you know. And me and Susie go, and we had Trey and Seth in there, and watch Seth and all them, and just, you know, go up and down the court. And I never understood how you did it. It was a method to your madness, or how you did it, but you were able to actually give an impact to individual other than just groups.
Yeah, well, it's I would tell you, we just thank God for that, because it's been inspired by him so much. So let's kind of shift gears. You're a businessman in town. Talk about starting that business.
Well, this is a funny story. I've owned Construction Concepts Corporation going over 30 years. So we have been through ups and downs. I mean, we have been very successful, and we've had some rough times, but that's just part of it. 30 years survive. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. But I worked for a finance in 1995. I worked for this financial company, and one of my jobs was to recruit people to come and work for our company. So that's what I was good at, and I would recruit people from other jobs and come and work for us. And so in 1995, the interest rates went way up, and the company I worked for laid all these people out because they needed cash, you know, for more money on investments. And I was just devastated. You know, I got some people that were working at jobs 10 and 12 years to come, and then they lay them off in November. So I got mad and just said, I'm not going to do this. So I quit. And now I got all these bills to pay. I got a new wife, and so I started hanging vinyl siding working 60, 70 hours a week just to come close to paying the bills. And one day I was eating lunch and I was laying up against a house at a construction site, and I watched this guy spray acid on brick, and I'm sitting there watching this guy. I watched him for 2 weeks, and I was like, I can do this. I can do it. So I went out, started my own company, cleaning brick, and the first year I sold it after 1 year and made $80,000 profit, and I started Construction Concepts, and we're a drywall company. So that's how it started, and that's how it's been, from day one.
So when you talk about an entrepreneur like you are, talk about, you just talked about corporate America laying off people. I mean, I was in a group of 5, and from various walks of life, and it was always about right size. How in the market that you're in, housing market that goes up and down, how do you deal with it? And
well, the thing about a company is always remember you're there to make a profit. You don't need practice. I don't need practice doing drywall. I'm there to make a profit. So, one of the things we deal with a lot of corporate builders, and the thing about corporate builders are they're based strictly on how the market's doing. So they're going to come in there. I had sometimes when I'm doing 60, 70 houses a month just for one account. And then all of a sudden things start slowing down, and then they go to 40, and then they go to 30, and then now your production's been cut in half. So you have to let workers go, and you have to have layoffs, and it's just part of it. It's a roller coaster. I've never had that flat line, Andy, where it was just all perfect. We're extremely busy from March to November, and then it slows down from December to February. And so it's constantly you're trying to balance all that, and then you got people. One of the things about this company that I love is I remember 20 years ago. We had this worker, and his babysitter didn't sew up, and he brought his kid to school. Now you got to understand, we're on a construction site, and that kid's running around playing in dirt, and the builder calls me and say, "Hey, you can't have some kid on job site." So I go and say, "Hey, man, you can't have a kid on job site." Well, that kid works for me now. The generation has already come to where it's working for me. So very proud of my company. It's provided my family a good life, and I'm hoping Trey, the 22-year-old, takes it and goes with it and provides for his family.
So Trey graduated at UTC.
No, he didn't graduate UTC. He went to UTC, and then he was in construction, and he decided, I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to work for you, Dad. So I started him on the very bottom. He's carrying materials, marking up houses, touch-ups, and I started him on the bottom. He's up to sales now, but I think, Andy, I think he's going to do good. I really do. I'm really hoping. If I become mayor, he has to take over the company. So that's something that I'm really working hard, and I think he's doing a good job.
Well, let's go back when you decided to get into politics and be the representative of county commissioner of District 15. What made you want to get into?
It was one thing and one thing only. I had some personal experience with opioid epidemic, and I was very passionate about it. And I went to the schools, and I wanted schools to have comprehensive education programs. I wanted awareness. I wanted to help in recovery, and nobody listened to me, Andy. I'd go to Dr. Odom, used to be the head of school superintendent. Wouldn't give me time of day. Wouldn't give me time of day. Couldn't get anywhere. And then I don't know if you remember Bill Spurlock?
I do.
Okay, Bill Spurlock was principal at Oakland, and he said, "Listen, come and talk to me about it." So I went and talked to him, and man, we had a vision. He says, "I can't get you all school, but I can get you Oakland." So we started with Oakland, and then we talk about God, and this is a blessing, man. I had to win election. Bill Spurlock got nominated to be school superintendent. He had to win, and we both won. And then he became school superintendent. And we said, "All right, let's get this program going." Now I got an ally, and now I'm a commissioner. And so he gave me 3 schools, Smyrna Elementary, Smyrna Middle, Smyrna High School, to do my drug program. 3 schools. I think it reached 600 people, 700 people, Andy. Anyway, so it was so successful, they gave me a couple more. Right now, we went from 675 students to 42,000. 42,000 kids are going to get to drug education programs. That blows me away. And then another thing that a lot of people do, since 2021, our deaths have dropped 16%. And our overdoses have been cut in half. Now, I started a task force, and as soon as I got elected, Bill Ketchum was mayor, and he said, "What can I do?" And I said, "I need a task force." And he said, "All right, what do you need?" So I started a task force, and we started trying to do awareness, billboards, direct mail, just trying to get awareness. And then the pharmaceutical, you remember all the pharmaceutical lawsuits started coming, and state of Tennessee had a class action suit. But one of the things, I don't know if you remember back in the cigarettes, when they sued all the cigarette companies, the state told you what to do on the money. So I didn't want that. I wanted us to have our own unrestricted funds. So, man, me and Bill took a shot and went in by ourselves. Rutherford County, by ourselves. And, of course, they settled. We had to be part of the state, but we got, I don't know, somewhere around 15% unrestricted. So we're getting, right now we get $580,000 a year for the next 18 years. And then we also get close to $1 million a year restricted. So as of right now, we've given out over $2.5 million to local organizations. And our deaths have dropped, our overdoses have dropped, and I'm excited, and we're going to go. We still got a long ways to go, Andy. It's never going to stop.
I don't think it is.
It'll never stop, but we're getting there, and I ran strictly on that, and I had a vision, and I wanted to bring this awareness, education, recovery, and that's what we're doing.
Well, we're going to take a break and be right back.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Get ready for an unforgettable night and support First Shot. Autumn at the Alley is coming to Oakland's Mansion Tuesday, September 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. Sip on fine bourbon, wine, and spirits, enjoy premium cigars, and feast on incredible food from the Alley on Main, all while enjoying live music under the stars. Proceeds benefit First Shot's Academic All-Stars and Send the Kid to Camp programs. Find out more on their Facebook page and through Eventbrite. Autumn at the Alley, September 24th.
Hannah Bleem here at the Rutherford County Farmers Market. This year, the Farmers Market is celebrating 50 years of being open, and we're here to talk to different vendors today.
Tyler Campbell here, owner of Kettle Classic Gourmet Popcorn. You can come check us out at the Rutherford County's Farmers Market every Tuesday and Friday, where we offer up fresh kettle corn and caramel corn. You can also come and see us at a storefront at 5525 Franklin Road. We have multiple flavors of gourmet popcorn. Kettle Classic Gourmet Popcorn. Tyler Campbell here. You can come check us out at the Rutherford County's Farmers Market every Tuesday and Friday, where we offer up fresh kettle corn and caramel corn.
Thank you so much. The Rutherford County Farmers Market is open on Tuesdays and Fridays from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. at 315 John R. Rice Boulevard in Murfreesboro until October 31st. This year, the Farmers Market is celebrating 50 years of being open. This is Hannah Bleem here at the Rutherford County Farmers Market.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by Old National Bank, the law offices of John Day, and AmeriCare Pest Control.
friends? Yes. The financial partners whom you've built a relationship with at Old National Bank are still at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard location, right here in the borough. And so are the warm, homemade cookies.
Cookies are ready, dear.
Like Grandma used to make. If you need online and mobile banking, Murfreesboro's Old National Bank does that too. You and Old National Bank, better together.
Old National Bank at 2230 Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Patronize our local family businesses. That helps our community. Some great plays. This weekend will be the final opportunity to see Sweeney Todd at the Arts Center of Cannon County. Don't miss Sweeney Todd. The last performance is Saturday. Oh, The Odd Couple continues at the Center for the Arts in Uptown Murfreesboro. That continues through this Sunday. And it's a twist on it. It's the female version of The Odd Couple. That's at the Center for the Arts at 110 West College, just off the square. Farm fresh produce every Tuesday and Friday at the Rutherford County Farmers Market. And our Farmers Market over at the Lane Agri Park is celebrating its 50th anniversary this season. Only local farmers are allowed to bring their produce, meats, cheeses, whatever, to the farmers market. The Rutherford County Farmers Market, Tuesday and Fridays from 7 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. That's over at the Lane Agri Park, 315 John R. Rice Boulevard. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see mostly sunny skies here this afternoon, high in the low 90s. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72. Tuesday, chance for storms, high 91. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 74.
Middle Tennessee Electric's virtual annual meeting is Saturday, August 16th at 2 p.m. Register now to be entered for prizes, submit questions, and vote for officers at MTE or by phone. More information at mte.com/annual meeting.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable in WGNS. I'm Andy Herger, founder and executive director of First Shot. This fall, September 24th, is our Autumn with the Alley. It's our fall fundraiser. There are many opportunities for sponsorships and single tickets. For more information, you can go to wgns.com and find it, or firstshot.tn.org. Welcome back in. It's been a crazy ride in the growth of our county. And as a commissioner, what are your concerns going forward with this growth, and how do we manage it?
Well, you know, one of the things going on right now is the commission is working on Plan Rutherford, and this will be for the next 30 years. So it's responsible growth and working with developers. And, you know, one of the things that you got to have strategic growth. We have the best schools, Andy. We have low taxes. We have low crime. People want to live here, and people are going to come here, and we have to have a plan. And because if you don't have a plan, you got frustration and chaos. And I think that the commission, especially Pettis Reed and Jeff Phillips, are trying to give us a blueprint on that. And the home builders are very important too. They bring in a lot of income, and they're important also. And we got to work together. And I think we're getting that fine tune. So that's a good way to handle development. We still have a ways to go. We had traffic problems here. You know, we had to find a way to work with the cities, try to alleviate some of that. But the commission's doing a good job. They are trying to work with this. We're growing 7 people a day. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. 7
people a day. And you know, schools, I think we built Rockville for like $80 million, maybe 85. We got one coming up. It's going to be over $120 million. And I mean, that's just unbelievable because the growth is just
Where is that next school going to be located?
I think it's going to be over in Smyrna. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. We got 6 schools we got to work on. I believe Smyrna, because Smyrna, Stewart's Creek's overrun. It's just overloaded right now, and I think it's going to be over there.
Yeah, I heard the towns up north are busting at the seams with kids, and
oh yeah, it's So
do you feel like, are we behind in our builds for schools?
Well, I think we have got to come up with a concept better than brick and mortar. We have got to figure out how we can alleviate this overflow of students. And, we just built a annex to Oakland and Riverdale and Smyrna and Laverne, and these are Band-Aids. They help. And the school's doing everything they can. But we have got to figure a way to do this. And if it's full year schedules or stagger schedules, or, these are just some, I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just saying these are just things that pop up.
Some ideas.
Just ideas. And but the biggest thing we got to do, and the biggest thing I'm going to be focused on running for mayor, is I'm going to work with the commission and find ways of finding revenue other than property tax, because the biggest part of our revenue is property tax. So when you have almost $1 billion budget, and we keep right now our property tax really low, it's 1.862. Out of that 1.862, Andy, and I don't want to get in, but out of the top five counties, big counties, Knox, Shelby, Davison, Hamilton, us, other than Knox, we're the lowest. And if you think about a 1.8 tax rate when Shelby County is almost 3, that's a lot. And we've done a really good job. And since I've been with the commission has done a great job of financial stability. That's why we got AAA rating. You hear some of that. We got that back during Ketron, but Mayor Ernest Burgess was a big part of that. Lisa Nolan was a big part of that. Michael Smith, and we got that AAA rating. Now, a lot of people don't know what that means, and I'll be real simple. If you borrow $140 million for a school, and you got a AAA rating, that's almost 3% you get off of a loan, because they will give you that. It's kind of like when you buy a house. If you got a 900 credit rating, they're going to give you better credit, better terms. That's how it's so important. So let's talk about, you said education. We got a great education system here in Rutherford County. Healthy. Schools are getting better. What else are we doing well? Well, I think, one of the things, we have really good department heads. I think they are doing a good job. I think that we are, we're trying to find revenues. We're really trying to find ways that we can increase revenues.
So what are some of those ways?
Well, when I came here, that was a big focus of mine also. And since I've been here, one of the things as a commission that we overseen was liquor by the drink. I know some churches might not like that, but Murfreesboro is making millions of dollars on liquor by the drink, and we couldn't get any businesses to go into the county because nobody wants to open a restaurant if they can't have liquor by the drink. We got that passed through a referendum. The mineral severance tax that we just got, I worked on that for years, and it had never, the tax has never risen over 40 years. And all the quarries all came together and, bless them. And they said, hey, we're going to help Rutherford County. So we increased some funds there. And the biggest thing that I advocated for was working with the home builders and getting a school facilities tax, when I first started, it was $1,500 to build a house. You had to pay $1,500 per house. And then I helped change that to $1 a square foot. And now the home builders we got together and they helped us. The delegation was a big part of that, and we went to $1.50. So that's about $8 million we're bringing in. So that's how, I have worked hard, and the commission has worked hard to bring revenues in. But we've got a long ways to go, Andy. We're growing all the time, and property tax is the only way we get money.
So sales tax, everything we buy in this county of that doesn't come back?
Yeah, it does, but you got to share it with Murfreesboro, and then it's got to go towards schools, and it's not, it's big part, but it's not, we have to share that, state gets a big part of that, but Murfreesboro's grown a lot too. Now, see, here's what people don't understand. Murfreesboro is a municipality. All right, they have different rules. They can do ordinances. They can raise revenue. They have more revenue streams, and they don't have that big school debt. So they're able to pay their people more money. And then a lot of our people are like, why is Murfreesboro doing this and we're getting paid this? We can't compete. I mean, we raise, and I tell you, our county has some great employees. Our law enforcement and first responders are, second to none. But we do have a hard time paying them, top rate and what they are. But we're working on it. I mean, in January, I did a 4% mid-year raise for them, and that helped. But we got a ways to go.
So when you say a ways to go, where are we at paying our deputies here compared to Williamson County?
Oh, well, I mean, Williamson County is a lot higher. We're kind of in the middle of the pack. We had a commissioner get up, and he did a presentation, Commissioner Beverly, and he had all the counties and all the big counties and cities, and we're kind of in the middle, but, we need to be, based on how good we are, we need to be up there, because the problem is, Andy, we train these guys and pay all that money to train them, and then they go somewhere else. So we're losing out because they can get more money. They can go down the road 30 miles and get way more than us. They can go down the road 20 miles towards Chattanooga and get paid more. So it's a constant battle. And what I wanted to do, we gave some of the 1 through 5 deputies a raise this year, which I was against, not for a raise, but I wanted to raise everybody. And I want everybody to get a raise. I don't believe in strategic raises, and I hope I don't get in trouble on that, but I believe that we should give everybody a raise, so it should be across the board.
Well, so we have really good first responders. Our county schools are healthy. Talk about the roads. And again, it's not just cities, it's county, state, a lot of interactions coming through our town here.
Well, it's, the thing, and a lot of people get upset over traffic, and, understandably so. A lot of the roads here, Andy, are city or state. There's not a lot of county roads. But what I'd like to see is work together with the city on some roads, some help. The developers, they got to build some roads, and they got to help us on some of the infrastructure, which is the big thing that I have with developers is increasing our infrastructure so we don't have this congestion. And those are things that I'll work with them on. They're willing to do that. I mean, they're willing to help on that. And man, I get frustrated too, Andy. I live over there by the airport, and you talking about driving all the way over here to Old Fort, or Old Fort? That's crazy.
Well, I live out in the Blackman area now, and to get across town to Oakland, which I went to a volleyball game to watch my buddy's granddaughter this weekend, took 30 minutes. But I know that. And I know, it takes me 30 minutes to get to the airport.
Man, I hate going down Memorial, right in front of Broad Street, Target, where Target is right there, and then go to where Sam's Club is. Oh, man, it's brutal.
Yep, but you know what? We moved away up to our lake house, which we have sold and now moved back. And my wife said, Andy, I don't want you to get frustrated because I hate traffic.
Yeah.
Right, but that's my fault. I always say that I like to be about 15 minutes early to everything. That's the coach in me.
Absolutely.
So I just leave 15 minutes earlier. And it's just, and not being a rush. And, when I look at traffic, I go, that's good for me. That means there's more kids that I'm going to be able to go out and positively infect. You right?
I admire you. I'm very impatient, and sometimes I'm having to hustle and get across, but man, there's so much good about this place. I mean, Andy, you've been here 30 years. I mean, this is a great county, and I'm looking forward to leading it, and I'm looking forward to a vision that I have, and my vision is that we work together. And some of these kids that you coached, hey, Andy, they are coming up. They're adults now, and they're got families. I want to listen to them. Hey, they listen to us, Andy. Let's listen to them, and let's bring in, the younger. I want generations, young, old. I want to hear all sides. I want to hear every side, because if I'm going to make a decision that could affect thousands of people, why not hear every side of it? Young, old, conservative, Republican, all that.
So when you, again, look at this, tell us your vision for Rutherford County.
Well, one of the things that I want to do is I want the county commission, who, based on our private act, makes a lot of, if not all, the decisions. And I want to work with them. We have a little bit of division right now between the executive branch and the legislative branch. And there's just no communication. And I want to bring that back together. I want to work our delegation. We have a little bit of division there. And because without the delegation, and that's all of our state, House and Senate, we ain't going to get nothing done. Because a lot of people don't understand, a county government is a subdivision of the state. We can't do anything without legislative approval on a lot of things, like if we want to increase fees or want to increase revenues. So I want to work together and have a better relationship with them. I want to bring in new ideas, new energy, new enthusiasm. I want to work with our department heads. How can we get better, and what can I do to support you? So my vision is to handle this growth, but also keep the excellence that we have right now.
Well, we're going to take our final break and be right back.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down, because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Is your business getting slowed down by constant IT issues? At Syscorp Computer Services, we take the stress out of technology. Our managed IT services include on-site and remote support, managed services, cybersecurity, cloud backups, and more, all tailored to fit your business. Let us handle the tech so you can focus on what matters most. Call Syscorp today for your free consultation at 615-809-3687 or visit our website at sys-corp.net. sys-corp.net.
Choosing the right insurance can be overwhelming. That's where Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance comes in. At Rayburn, we're not just about policies, we're about people. Rick Hall will take the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage at the best price. We've been serving our community since 1973. So why not let Rick Hall take the stress out of insurance? Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency, where you're more than just a policy number. You're our neighbors.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzier, founder, executive director of First Shot. Man, let's talk about some things you really think we have to improve to get more excellence. Because I think we live in the greatest county. It's the greatest giving area in our state. We have a lot of people that support a lot of nonprofits like mine that, and again, by zip code, we give more per capita than any other county in the state. So I believe we live in a great county, but there's always room for improvement. What are the things you would like to see improved?
Well, it's kind of like we talked off air. You know, we had to have better communication amongst the executive branch and the legislative branch, and we have a little dissension, and it's messing with production. Delegation, we have a great delegation, and we have to work with them better. They have to work with us better because we are a subdivision of the county, of the state, and we had to have those delegations for us to get things done. And one of the things I want to do as mayor is I want to make sure that we can work together with all sides. I mean, think about it, Andy. As a team, think of all those good ideas. We can work together and just think about all that leadership. And we can really come up with some great things for Rutherford County. And I think we lack that right now. And that's one of the things that I want to do and accomplish.
So when you say that, I always said when I was on a staff, I always said there's too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Right.
So how do you get, because everyone in politics, just whether you like it or not, they have an A personality or they wouldn't be in it. So how do you get all these people with all these agendas to think for the common good of our county?
A lot of praying. I mean, it is not easy, and but you got to understand this. If we wanted something done, and you think about 100 representatives, 33 senators, if our delegation is not behind it, and you live in Johnson City, and your own delegation is not behind it, are you going to vote for it? Our delegation represents Rutherford County, and they have some great ideas. We have some bills out there that are very good. I mean, Dawn's got Dawn White. She's a senator. She's got human trafficking that I'm very, very interested in, and that's some of the things that they have some great ideas. And our county commission is solid. I mean, we have some young talent. I know I sound like a coach, but we have some really good commissioners and some leaders, and this upcoming election is huge. We are going to have probably 5, 6, 7 new commissioners. That's the entire makeup is going to change, and we need strong leadership to help guide them through until they get their legs under them.
So when you said get your legs under it, so you get 5 or 6 new commissioners. How long did it take you felt like you had your legs under you and you could be an effective commissioner?
Well, I was the exception because I became a chairman my first year, and that's very, it's rare. And so I was thrown into leadership right off the bat, and I had to learn on the go. But a lot of commissioners, they have to understand that you're one vote out of 21. It takes 11 votes to get something done. So you got to compromise and you got to work with people. And if you work with someone and you have good ideas, I listen. Here's the whole thing. You want to know the difference? There's 2 things. You got to learn how to listen and not hear. A lot of people hear. A lot of people don't listen. And I believe this. You're going to hear this in this campaign. You're going to hear it 100 times. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I want people around me to give me advice and give me good ideas. Some are going to be bad ideas. I'm not saying I'm going to agree with everybody, but I am saying I got to listen and not hear people.
Well, I think, we were talking off air about me doing this and why. It's made me a better listener, being an interviewer, finding out what your people are thinking and not spewing my 2 cents.
Well, one of the things that I told you earlier is this is flow. I like the flow. I like when we're talking, I'm comfortable. I'm going to be in a very tough race. It's going to be a very tough race, and there's so much negativity, and it's just, I hate it. I want to do it on issues, and because a lot of people don't like that negative stuff. And I mean, you're one of them. I mean, we don't like that. I don't like that negative stuff, and it just gets that way. And I really want us to, to have a campaign about the issues and vision and leadership, and it's tough. I mean, I have an opponent that doesn't want that, and I'm a reactor, and I'm a fighter. You know me you know me a long time. I'm a fighter. Yeah. And sometimes I need to shut up. It's not just one.
I look at everything, and I've evolved. When I was in college coaching, I was always the bad cop. I was, and I didn't like that role, but I had that role. And I was the one that was always, the enforcer of stuff. And I think I've learned that grace and mercy go a long way.
Hey, man, that's so true.
And so I'm not perfect. First shot's not perfect, And I think we all have got to figure out how to listen to ideas that aren't ours and like-minded. And not every person is going to think like me, and so I can learn from someone that doesn't think like me. And that's what room I want to be in now.
Absolutely, and that's what I just said. I'm not the smartest guy. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. Man, there's some smart people out there, Andy. There's some talented, and the thing about politics is, I think people want to serve, but they don't want all that stuff that comes with it. The negative and the people that attack, and there's some really good people out there that could be in politics that don't want to do it. They don't want to put up with it. Man, I get hammered and I get frustrated, but then that's just how it is. There's always going to be division, I mean, you got a 2-party system, and actually 3 if you had independents, but we're so divided right now in this country. We have Republican. You can't be in the middle. You can't be a moderate. 2010, the Tea Party came in here, wiped out the Democrat Party. And I tell Republicans all the time, I'm a very loyal Republican. And I tell them all the time, do you think that can't happen the other way? Good.
The pendulum always swings.
Yes.
And that's what we forget about. But in looking at going forward, 3 things that if you become the mayor of our county, what are the 3 things that you think immediately would need your attention?
Revenue. We have got to find ways to bring revenue in here. We have got to find ways to work with the growth of our schools. You're talking about, instead of brick and mortar, we got to work on traffic. We got to keep our property tax low, keep that AAA rating, and that's working with the county commission. And when I have a budget, I'm going to ask for 2 budgets when it comes to budget time. I'm going to ask for a want budget and a need budget, and we'll work together. But budgets are going to grow, Andy. I mean, we're growing. And then another thing that I want to do is I want to work with IDB board and bring in headquarters, white collar jobs. I want to bring in those that can afford our houses and work with them on that. I mean, they do a great job. Bill Jones does a great job. Warren Russell, and I just want to be able to help them with recruiting. I'm a recruiter, I've recruited my whole life, and I want to help and try to bring in big white collar jobs.
Well, again, I know it's going to be a heated race between you and Joe. I wish you the best in all of this, and you make sure you tell your boys I ask about them, and I sure do miss those times on Friday and Saturday with you.
Man, I mean, we talked about this earlier. It was some of the best times I've had, man. I love watching that. I love watching you and those. I mean, some terrible, some good, but you always made them feel good. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. And if I can do anything for you, Andy, just, let me know. And I appreciate this opportunity, and it was good, and I thank you.
I wish you the very best of luck.
GTV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.